Hey, it's Chris again here with Automate My Gig. Today we're going to import some data and make it appear in a pipeline. So I am in the Automate My Gig system. I'm going to click on Opportunities. So this is going to be the pipeline. This is the only pipeline we have in here, the 150 off pipeline. I'm in our home service demo account. So the idea is to make data show up here in new leads. So I have a CSV file of customers that I want to put in there. So how do we do that? So let's go down here to settings on the bottom left. I'm going to make a tag real fast. This is a lot of times the easiest way, I think, to pull data into the system. I'm just going to call this tag leads. You can name the tag whatever you want. The tag itself really does nothing. So what we're going to do now is let's go make a trigger. So I'm going to click on triggers right here. So you can see this is going to load any trigger that's in your account. Let's not mess with any of that. Let's just hit add trigger on the top right. Let's just put a name for this trigger. I'm just going to call mine test for the purpose of this video. So when this loads, it's going to show us a list of different ways that we can trigger automation with the system. So in this case, we're going to want to trigger automation through the tag being added. So this being kind of a list of all the different ways that we can trigger automation. We're going to use contact tag, which I did not hit. So contact tag, then hit add filters. The filters we're going to define either tag added or tag removed. And this is our tag leads. That's what we've established as being the triggering event for it. And then what do we want to do? So this is the list of outcomes from our automation. So we're at the top of the list here for add/update opportunity. So let's select our pipeline. Let's select our stage. And then, so for name, we're going to leave that blank because we're pushing in the name already. Source, what's going to be interesting here, I'm going to pull this variable right here. This is a custom variable that's able to be used with our system. This way it's going to be date stamped as soon as I put the data into the system. And then we're going to select lead status to open. So if everything looks good there, and you might ask, how do I do that date stamp? If you want to see how to pull that, hit add action, change this action real quick to send email. When you do that, the custom value screen is going to appear. You can go down to right now. Go over to the right, scroll down, click here. You'll notice right click is disabled, so hit Control X. Bring that value up here. Hit Control V. You're good to go. Get rid of this email. So this is how we're going to trigger and set this up. So this is going to be the action that is going to add them to the pipeline. I'm going to hit active. I'm going to hit save here. So now we have our trigger, we've got our tag. Now we just have to import some data. So if I go over to the left side, I go to contacts. Now we're going to go import. So I'm hitting this little button here for import. So let's pull our file. I've got some decoy data that I've set up for this demo. So give me a second here. Of course the computer would act and perform a little slow here. So brutal. Alright, we got our decoy data. We're going to hit continue. Now it's going to allow us to map the data, so I'm just going to pull first name out of here, last name. But I can use these drop down menus and I can map the data to any variable that we've created or any variable that exists in the program. So I'm just going to take the basics here. Let's hit continue. So you can see first name, last name. This is kind of what your data is going to be set up as. Hit continue. You can hit this another sample here, and this is going to show just more data. I'm going to hit continue. So this is interesting here. You've got some options if the data already exists in your database, what to do. Typically this is going to be the best option. Update the data in the document. In this case, I'm just going to say don't modify. So if the data already exists in here, I just don't want to add it for any reason. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is where we're going to add our tag. So I just type in L, my tag appears, I click on leads, make sure it shows up here in the bubble. Now I'm going to hit done, and we should be in business here. So as long as my trigger was not in draft mode, we're going to have data when I click on this. And we don't have data, which is brutal. So let's troubleshoot this. This often occurs. You think you're doing something right, you're not doing something right. I did notice that when I clicked on my contacts, I see that the contacts are here. I see that my tag on here is working. So let's just click on triggers. Maybe there's something that I've left undone. So we're going to go in here, we're going to click on test. Trigger added, leads. So everything looks good. Yeah, I'm in contact tag, added, leads, active, it's saved. So if we come back, well, and there's me getting a little excited, so it looks like it just took a second. I probably should have hit the refresh button or something. You saw the basic troubleshoot there though, which is go back, make sure that you're not in draft mode, make sure that your trigger was set up properly, make sure you added the right tag, but it's all here. So now I can drag and drop. I can put people wherever I want here based on kind of outcomes and whatever the case might be as I start getting a hold of these folks. So great outcome here. We've got 49 pieces of data that were added successfully. So it took a little bit longer than we wanted, which was unfortunate, but here it is. That's the process. Now that the trigger has been set up and the tag has been set up, you can continue to import based on that same system. So it's all ready to go for you. If you want us to set this up, as always, give us a ring at Automate My Gig. Visit the website at www.automatemygig.com. You can always drop us a line there.